Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Trail of Cthulhu the thoughts below, and that is thoughts as in the thing in your mind, not like that. Get your minds out of the gutter.
I'm
Get it,
here, so
get it. Minds out of the gutter because it's thoughts below.
he made the joke.
So last time, we were introduced to our wonderful assortment of characters. I know it's been a while, but obviously this is our kind of like push it off campaign. This is the sideline, so that we can have something to do when everybody else is busy or has to plan for their thing. Um, Last time we met our three wonderful investigators: Billy Bob, James Smith, and Dr. Elmer Zaft. You guys were pulled into a ongoing investigation into what are called the torso murders by the press, in the fine city of Cleveland, Ohio, in 1938. Um, you were brought in by by the one and only sheriff. Let me get his first name. Sheriff Martin L. O'Donnell. You guys found out that three of the people that one person from each of your lives, was gruesomely murdered and is being categorized under these torso murders. Um, those people being, and we'll go in order of how I see it on my Discord. Billy Bob, a woman named Rose Walker, who was a former military nurse, turned prostitute, was killed. Dr. Elmo Zaft, a former patient named Florence Polillo, also going by Flo, who had ongoing signs of schizophrenia. She would also go off. She would also go by Clara Dunn, but though very typically she would refer to herself as Flo. She was also a prostitute and knew Rose Walker. And finally, James Smith, your kind of like not I don't want to say ward because that's not the right word. You were the bodyguard to the most recent victim, Rebecca Anderson, who died in a part who died after going to a party, in the third. Um, and all each of you have your own reasons for wanting to do this investigation other than the very very good paycheck of $25 a day. Remember guys, it's 1938, we're all poor.
It's a lot of money.
Especially for the homeless one.
It's a lot of money.
And so you guys were kind of sicked onto the case and given leads, and your first lead was a man by the name of
Oh,
Frank. Hmm?
sorry, my audio just went funky for a second.
Can you hear? Are you good?
I can hear. I can hear.
All right. Your first lead was under a man named Frank Delazal. He is current. You kind of found out that Frank was a laid off employee of the Van Shine's former construction company, now turned oil refining company, and now serves as a pimp, in the third district. And some of his he actively slept, or pimped out, three of the victims: a man by the name of Edward Adrasi, Flo, and obviously Rose Walker. Um, you guys found out that his address was 2941 East 22nd Street. However, you also found out that he quite often frequented a dive bar called Lester's. And so you guys decided to head there. Um, and then you guys decided to investigate him afterwards, which is what we'll be doing this session. But I'll continue with my recap. Um, you guys kind of found out, at Lester's, that everyone is deeply afraid of Frank, and that the three victims that are associated with him, were sort of like his best girls and man. Um, and you guys found out that Dr. Elmer Zaff talked to some other prostitutes about that, and they were the less favored ones by their own terms. Uh, James Smith, you talked to some vets from, I believe I specified World War One.
Mhm.
Um, uh, so you talked to some familiars, and found out that again everyone does know knows who Frank is, and everybody kind of had a soft spot for Rose. You also found out that a local hospital, the General Hospital for a General Hospital of of Cleveland, Ohio, specifically one that was in located in the third, had a lot of break-ins, specifically around the morgue area of the hospital. And you also found out that there was a tattoo parlor called Natty's that was near that hospital that Flo and Rose attended very frequently, and that there were a lot of gangbangers, specifically of the Mexican gang, the Headhunters there, because that is their territory where this tattoo parlor is found. And then Billy Bob, our homeless man himself, was fishing through the trash to see if he could find anything, and overheard two of the bar workers talking about a crazy Greek man who was running around naked near a train station, um, also near the hospital, ironically enough. Um, Specifically, the train line that I forgot to mention, but was mentioned, is the MYC train station that is ran by the Chattahoochee Industrial Railroad Company. Um, and that runs along the Lake Erie. That runs like right along the front of Lake Erie. Um, and you found out that there's a crazy Greek man who's running around naked with a sword doing all of that stuff near that train station. Three of you came back together, went back inside, and talked to the bartender. And after fishing up some cash, found out that there was another man who would come and talk to and often partake in the services of Frank, who called himself a doctor, much to the chagrin of Dr. Elmer Zaft. Um,
Ugh.
he he often would come in a large black car and he would pick up people. His most frequented customer was Flo. Um, or rather, his most frequented adventure was Flo. Um, you guys were given a couple of extremely blurry pictures because, again, the technology of the time is not great. And this man was, you could tell, was very obviously dressed nicely. You couldn't really see his face or details, but he had brown, like very dark brown, neon black colored styled hair. Kind of almost greaser esque, but not quite. Um, and with all the information gathered, you guys decided to try and go ahead and make your way to Frank Delazal's apartment. Um, and I think that is where we're going to pick up. I'll let you guys know that it is currently 12:48 p.m. It is the morning, obviously, of the next day, August 13th, and it is a Saturday. So that if that matters, that might matter for Dr. Elmer Zaft specifically because you do have a day job. Um, And so you guys can tell me what are you guys doing on your way to Frank's apartment while I get us some music going.
Okay, so what are the questions we're gonna ask him if he's there at all? Because I believe they said he may not be there today.
Sorry, what?
Oh god. I asked what
In
would.
here, hello? Can you hear
Hello?
Kai?
Yes, sorry, I
Okay.
Oh,
spaced
okay.
out.
Okay, okay. I thought it was the you couldn't hear.
No, I just like partway through. You know that thing where somebody's talking to you and then partway through your mind is swallowed by the void?
Not really.
Do I need to repeat anything?
I'll be fine. What was the question though?
What are we gonna ask him if he's there? You know, the
Oh,
dickhead, Frank.
well, if he's there, we've got quite a number of questions to ask him. To be honest, I don't think he did it. Because would it really make logical sense to murder your best worker?
No, but though it has been a few years from at least a few of the different kills, so maybe he could have done it, but the ones with from 2 or 3 years ago, he probably wouldn't even remember where the hell he was. So
You know,
I
Billy
think
Bob
what
just gonna ask him, how his day was. Started off nice.
Let's not.
Billy Bob a care
Well,
man.
the day literally just started, so let's not ask him that.
Exactly. Billy Bob want to know.
I think the more important question is to be able to put together a timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Ask him who hires people. Ask him where they were, what corners they were. He probably won't want to divulge this information very much. So, if anything, we might want to make it sound like we're attempting to hire.
Yeah. Also, it would be a good idea to ask him specifically about that, if we can, specifically about that one that was very sketchy in the bar.
Yes,
brown
the
hair
doctor.
man. Yeah, the doctor.
The supposed doctor.
I mean, Billy Bob also believes that we have a naked man to go get.
I don't believe he knows about naked men, but I don't know who knows about that naked man.
Yeah, so
Billy Bob
that,
just wondering where he got the sword.
Sword store.
Billy Bob didn't know there was a sword store.
probably.
Billy Bob
Then,
wants to know now.
then if it doesn't take us that long, I think going by the hospital would be a good idea. Because remember, a few of them were drugged before they were killed, so...
Billy Bob is
Figuring out what-
unwelcome into the hospital.
Well, I do appreciate the simplistic, animalistic mind of our friend here. I think that you should handle it. JD's character name.
it's on the Discord. Look at the Discord.
Pull something else up.
James said, alright.
James, okay. I think you should investigate
Sound music.
James. You
Sorry
do
about
look
that.
the most likely to hire a prostitute.
Okay, so you want me to go up there alone? Alright. If he's there, that is.
Not alone, but just lead the charge.
Alright. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
I would like to ask very quickly, who is driving, just so that I can have
Me.
reference.
Because it's
Okay.
his car.
Does anyone want to take a quick? Does anyone want to look at the files that you guys were given by Sheriff O'Donnell before you get there to double check any information?
Okay, yeah, let's double check it. Screw it.
Billy Bob is very trusting at the moment.
Okay,
I'll
so
double check, sure.
So you're gonna double check. All right. I am gonna ask specifically. I want to see if you can notice a very specific piece of information regarding him. So I want you to tell me. I should probably just keep a. There it is. I want you to tell me what you can give me whatever kind of check you want, but it's got to be something relating to like being able to notice something. So I'm kind of thinking anything from along the lines of sense trouble. I'm looking.
Oh, wait, little information on pieces of paper? Is that what you're trying to ask?
It sort of. Mostly, it's information like because you know how like police reports look. This is so buried in the text, right? That I want.
I have 2 in law, which means I passed the bar exam. I don't know if that's gonna like help.
You know what? Yeah, actually, I'll call that. You don't even need. I'll say no role required for that then. With 2 dots in, like you know how to read the document. An interesting piece of information that you guys did not pick up on originally when reading the document was that in 1936, with the year that Flo was killed, he did not live in the apartment he lives in now. He lived at 1908 Central Avenue, which was 1 block away from where Flo was killed, where Flo's body was dropped or was dumped.
Billy Bob understands there's a lot of words. Billy Bob ain't gonna read them.
Seems like Frank's apartment was changed. Well, not. Do I notice the date change was after the death of Flo, or?
The date change was about 2 to 3 months after.
Okay, so that's not that suspicious, but it would, depending on how much money Frank has, would be a eloquent amount of time to find an apartment and change with all the stuff he may have in it. If he is guilty. Oh, Lord. This is gonna be tricky. But that is very suspicious that it was right next to where he lived is where Flo's body was dumped. Wait, found or dumped? Because you said
The body
sometimes the
was
body. Okay.
both.
Okay.
It was found in a dumpster, I think was the exact.
Okay.
No, no, no,
Okay.
no, no, no. It was the body. That's where the body was dumped. However, it was found. It was found there as well.
Oh, my bad. I completely misunderstood.
Okay,
No.
because
If you want specifics of where her body was found wrapped in newspaper, near a sewer grate.
yeah,
Or
because
specifically
crazy.
by near a sewer gate, I mean her body was pushed out of that sewer gate, by
Ew.
water.
Okay, so she was dumped in the sewer. But yeah, because I remember one of the details you said was that most of the bodies were dumped into the river to disperse the parts and among the body, if I remember
But
correctly.
all of them were also wrapped in newspaper.
Yeah, all of them were wrapped in newspaper. All right.
Is there anything else you guys would specifically try? Anything you guys would want to try and look for specifically before you guys get there?
Okay.
If
Good.
if I was to say the general locations and times that the bodies that were confirmed to be related to this guy were found.
All
Just
right.
sort of map that out and time that out.
Let me double check my stuff here.
Okay.
Um,
This is out of character. I think it's really hard to like do investigation stuff as a homeless person, especially how I'm playing this, because
Yeah.
I know what I want to do, but I have to be in character, and I'm like, what would Billy Bob do?
What if during the next scene we give Billy Bob a concussion that lets him unlock more of his brain?
Oh, I'm good. I would rather not.
Okay, so if you want, if you want to know, kind of like specifically you're talking specifically any of the victims, or the victims specifically associated with him.
I think Kai said specifically associated with Frank.
Yes, associated with Frank, because I assume we don't have enough time to look through everything.
Yeah. So the other two victims associated with him, right? Edward Adrasi. He was found near victim number 1, which was inside the Kingsbury Run, which is it's a part of the same. It's the sewer system where Flo was found is also the water runs off from there. So like he was found near East 49th in Praha, which is a little further away. It's not like the block distance that Flo was. If it's actually a little further south, where. So basically, Edward Adrasi was a little further south than Flo was, but the river aspect is the same, right? It's still attached to that river, the Kingsbury Run. Flo was obviously found quite literally a block away from where he was at, which, if you want the specific location of that, is behind behind Hart MFG dot. I don't know what MFG dot means. On 23rd, 15th East and 20th. Which is on if my notes are right. Which is 2 streets over from where Frank now lives. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, because we didn't have it last time. Well, we didn't have it in this server.
Right. And then Rose Walker was found on the bank of the Cahuga under the Lorraine Carnegie Bridge, which is quite a distance down from where everybody else was found. But that is obviously because she floated down the river. So there's no real telling of where Rose was dropped. And if you want the dates for everything, Edward Adrasi was found in September 23rd of 1935. Uh, about five. About 5 months before Flo was found. And then Rose Walker was found nearly a year. Was found basically a year later. From Flo. On uh June 6th, 1937.
What is the year
Does that
1938, right?
you got? Yeah, it's 19. It is currently August 1938. Nearly a year later.
Okay. And
Anything else?
have these deaths been made to the public? Like the Rose Walker has been found?
Very, very, very much so because
Okay.
of the length of time. People need to know to stay away from certain areas.
All right. Okay. Oh, God.
That's how they got the nickname the Torso Murders.
Okay. Oh Lord. This
The music is great.
yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Out of character. Oh God. I'm stressing about these questions because I can't. I'm not good at these parts.
It is again. It is 12. It is 12:48 at night. Going on like we're getting very close to you. You guys are gonna arrive at his apartment at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Question: do we really want to wake him up at 1 a.m.? But maybe this is out of character. Do we really want to wake him up at 1 a.m. and ask him these questions? Because I feel like that's already suspicious enough being at 1 a.m.
You bring up a good point. I mean, from my point of view, it would make sense if we go in there now because when someone's tired, they get irritated more, which means that they're more likely to spill information than they wouldn't have done while calm.
Yeah, that is true. It's just. We also don't want to be like, because with how he's a pimp, he might just have security guards willing to just grab us and throw us in his house and kill us at like 1 o'clock in the fucking morning.
Uh-oh.
That is true. I didn't think about that.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Is everything good?
Yeah, sorry, I was just saying stuff and nobody was responding, so I thought I might be cutting out. I was just trying to make the point, though, that he works with prostitutes.
Yeah.
So while it's not guaranteed, like, being up late would make sense since they would get a lot of their work done at night.
Yeah.
At the very least, we could go to the place and stake it out, and
Yeah,
if he's
exactly,
not there, we can just leave.
Yeah. Alright. Okay. We'll do that, and then we'll determine upon what we do from there. Because most of this is out of character, just to like think. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make that a point.
All right.
Yeah. Is there anything else? Any information you would try to glean from the files?
I think
Specifically, anything that I am not asking.
I don't think there's much else that we can glean for right now. But you said, was it his worker that had the JD tattoo, or was it just one of the other victims?
Let me check. I do not believe it is. No, it is not.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Specifically, it was a
Mexican cartel member, I think.
I will give you an exact. The victim with the JD laundry mark and several tattoos was victim number 4, a John Doe. It is assumed that he was a sailor.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay.
It also means we don't have access to his real name. That's just an assumed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a John
Because no one
Doe.
claimed his body, therefore he never got a name.
It's possible he was JD or holding a laundry tag for someone named JD.
Yeah. Or stole it. Who the hell knows?
That's holding.
Yeah, fair enough.
Stealing is a type of holding.
Okay. We get there. Does it seem like anyone's home?
So you guys pull up in the car. Are you guys trying to keep it on, like, are you guys trying to, like, are you pulling up, like, just stopping in the middle of the road, or are you pulling off to the side? Like, think noir style investigative work here. Like, what do you
I think noir would be a good idea here.
I think we're pulling to the side.
Yeah.
So you guys pull to the side, turn off the car, shut off the lights, make sure that nobody can see you. You guys are just parked, and you guys are sitting outside of this lone apartment complex, this very reddish stone, like clay, 2-story. And it seems that no one's home. There are no lights on in any of the rooms. The only light that is on is a street lamp that is about 2 car lengths down from you guys, that illuminates the path that would lead to the front of this apartment complex. And according to your guys' notes, Frank lives on the entire second floor of this apartment complex, which is not like, when I say apartment complex, think like it's only 2 stories tall.
It's
Probably,
probably one of these that has interconnected rooms via doors, right? I would assume it's like one of those apartments. If he has
yeah,
the
like,
entire second floor to himself,
yeah,
yeah.
he has the entire second floor to himself. Kind
Okay.
of like, it's almost like the bottom level probably has about 4 apartments in it, like 4 small apartments, and then the top is a much larger, like, loft or suite.
And we don't see like any shadows moving in the second floor at all. Nothing.
All the lights are off. There doesn't seem to be anything going on inside.
Hold on. What if this second apartment is just a front, and he still is living in the first apartment that I found?
He is not,
Okay, so it's
according
just a
to
no.
the file. According to the file, he does not live there anymore, like, at all.
Hmm. With him being a pimp, he could be paying
The
off
inf-
somebody to give the police false information. Who the hell knows at this point?
Let's work with the information we have for right now. We'll assume false leads if anything starts to get shady. If we doubt all the evidence, we'll have nothing to work with.
Fair enough. But I don't think he's here, if anything at all, right now.
So all the lights are off?
All of the lights are off, except for, like I said, the street light that is kind of like illuminating the area to get to the front door. Um, and I'll kind of like describe more specifically for you, because I don't think, I feel like I didn't describe that very well. His apartment complex is there. There are these big gaps of, like, little grassy areas, probably about 100 square feet across. Then there are more apartments, and then that happens again and again until you get to more densely populated area. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand.
And I'll also kind of tell you, like, the road that you guys are on. It's a two-way. There are cars parked here, probably about 6 or 7. But other than that, the street seems fairly empty. Um, the Across the street from this apartment complex is just a dense line of what looks like to be smaller apartment complexes, probably storefronts that are obviously closed and, like, completely shut down, um, and stuff along those lines.
Apartment complex, I find it quite simple.
Okay, what did you say? You cut off at the very beginning.
I made a stupid joke and said,
Okay.
apartment complex, I find it quite simple.
Okay.
Okay, I have an idea though. I think I'm going to approach the door. I'm going to knock on it. If nobody is there, I'll leave. If somebody is there, I'll make up an excuse about my car being out of oil and see if they bite.
You mean the one with the light in front of it? This is out of character.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I'll
yes,
uh,
I want
I'll
light in
I'll,
front of it.
I'll also let you guys know that actually, so you're getting out of the car, right, to go and investigate?
I'm planning on it. I'm announcing this plan, but I haven't acted on it yet.
Okay, just wanted to be clear.
Okay. Alright, just be careful.
I do then step out of the car.
So you get out of the car. You check, kind of like, you look both ways. Obviously, there again, nobody's on the street at all, which is not uncommon for this time of night.
It
Um,
is 1 a.m., yes.
um, and as you're walking to the front door from where you're at, as you get closer to the left side of the building, you realize there's a wooden staircase that leads up to a personal entrance for the second floor.
Hmm. I see that wooden staircase and I take note of it.
Okay.
And give me a second to double check something.
Okay.
to head back to my vehicle for a moment.
All right. You
I
don't knock on the door or anything.
Nope, because I'm doing something first. I grab my pistol, a few of my bullets, and then I look at between the two of them and say, "Do either of you have a lighter?"
Uh, I do we need to roll for that? Because I don't think my character's a smoker.
Unless your character's specific. Because remember, I explained to each of you, you all bought stuff. Remember, I gave you a limit, so
Yep.
you all got to buy things. So let me look, because I have everybody's stuff written down just in case something like this
I
happens.
know I don't have a lighter.
Let me see.
I don't think I do either.
JD boots, clothing, heavy.
Yeah, no.
Or just anything
one of
that
you,
could start a fire.
one of you does have a lighter.
Oh?
Billy Bob has a Zippo lighter, but the group doesn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. I didn't know if you remembered that or not, Stephen.
I do, in fact, I remembered it because I have enough material to make a Molotov. But I have not informed anyone that I have a lighter.
Yep.
Alright, and are you gonna inform us now, or keep that to yourself?
Billy Bob wants to know what your intentions are.
Oh, if things go south, I'm going to burn down the access staircase.
Billy Bob seems that reasonable. Here's a lighter.
I take the lighter.
Alright, so please keep note of it that currently you have lost the lighter and that Dr. Emozeft has it.
Billy Bob would like it back.
Yep, give me a second about it. Of course. I then approach.
So you go up to the second or the first floor?
I'm still going to go to the first floor and knock on the door.
With the light on in front of
The one that's lit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that's lit. So you knock on the front door. There's a couple of probably about a minute passes. No kind of like nothing. Do you knock again?
I give it one more second to knock one more time.
You knock one more time. That second knock, you hear like something on the other side, and the door opens slightly, and you see what seems to be a bellhop almost looking kind of guy. It looks very much like, oh, this is someone hired to watch the front door in case guests come in or something. Like they're very kind of like old school, kind of like, yes, we have people for everything, even though they're paid poorly. And he looks like you very much have awoken him from sleeping on his job.
Sorry
Can I
to
help you?
Yes, I'm sorry to disturb you, sir, but I have unfortunately run out of petrol near your location and was hoping to see if there was anybody who might be able to assist me.
Let me see. Let me go look at what I believe, because I want to look and make sure that I'm doing these investigation checks right. Let me find it because I have a personal character sheet. Let's see. Oh God, what is? I don't want to say conceal. That doesn't feel right. Hold on. I'm checking all my things. For viewers at home, I just want to remind everyone that we are still using this system for the first time, and since it's been a little while, even I'm a little screwy on some of the stuff.
Streetwise flattery? I don't know.
I'm thinking probably streetwise, either streetwise.
Alright, I should probably have my character sheet pulled up. That'd be helpful.
That would be extremely helpful. Yes. So you're trying to lie to this guy, so he's already gonna have to use assessed honesty. So I'm gonna go check something real quick because I want to make sure that this is what I'm doing this right.
I'm just gonna check to see how good my rolls are with D6s real quick.
I think we might be too caught on World of Darkness because I do not see Streetwise as a skill on here.
No, this streetwise. I'm looking at it right now.
The fuck is it?
It's
Interpersonal
underneath
abilities at the very bottom.
and
The fuck am I
interpersonal
looking at?
abilities.
A character sheet. Shut the fuck up.
It's right. It's right under reassurance and right above technical abilities.
Yep, I see it.
Oh,
I got
there it
18
is.
in that.
I've
I
got
will.
nothing.
I will allow you to do. You may. I'm gonna pose because as you know what it's my campaign. I can say whatever I want. Because of how this is seeming to roll, especially in terms of what I'm reading. You may roll streetwise. You may roll conceal. Not conceal, sorry. Streetwise, disguise, or eh, that's it. Those are the only two that I can see working.
Well, I have anything in disguise. I have 3 in disguise. Is that enough that I do need to roll?
You may roll if you want to, because you can roll, or I can use that as a DC.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I think. Why'd you roll so many d6s?
I'm checking to see how good my rolls are.
Okay.
And it is not good in the Dice Maiden, so we're using physical dice today.
I don't even know where my d6s are, and I don't feel like getting out of bed, so. I'm going to. This is a hard one, because it's technically a 50-50 whether or not I get above it.
Mm-hmm. And I have already rolled.
And you don't need to inform me jack shit about your roll, do you?
Nope, because I am rolling an assess honesty on you. So you have a DC to set for me.
I'm gonna roll a d6.
Will you be adding?
Well,
you may.
Well,
Specifically because this is our first time using the system. If you would like to take points away, to put points to increase your roll, you are allowed to.
no,
However,
I don't think this time. I think there's more important things that are gonna come up in the future.
okay. So what did you roll? Because I saw
I
that.
rolled a 3, ironically.
Well,
A complete
It was
this
pointless to roll.
this guy, he looks at you. He looks at you. Wipes his eyes for a second. Looks up past you. Sees the white. The white. I believe it's a Volkswagen.
It's Give me a second.
If I'm
I
not
have it written in my
mistaken.
notes.
No, I also have it written in my notes. I don't know why I'm.
It
looks up-
is a
Sed-
Chrysler.
Chrysler Airflow sedan. He looks up at your Chrysler, which is seating 2 people in it. Looks back down at you.
Yeah, wait, we parked like out of the way of the building. That's something we literally noted.
I just asked. That's fair. But you were also driving a white. He also rolled a 6.
Fair. But I would just say, can I roll a retroactive conceal roll to see if the car is parked enough out of the way?
You know what? I will allow that. That one I feel entitled to give you.
Because we didn't know we parked out of the way.
That is true, and I had already forgotten what half of these rolls were for.
How much do you have in concealment already?
Give me a second. I have 10 in conceal. Holy shit. Do I even need to roll for that? Or?
No, you do not. He looks at you. He kind of looks out and he doesn't see your car, but he sees it's empty. Looks down at you and he says, "Where's your car?"
It's a bit out of the way.
Well, I'll tell you what, sir. If you look down to your right, my left, you'll see that about a quarter mile that way is a big old light. And you want to know what that light is? A 24-hour gas station.
They had those in the 1930s.
They did have those in the 1930s. We do have these in the 1930s.
Yeah, we do have these in this present day.
Gas stations are a thing.
Well, I suppose you are very right, my friend. Still, I thank you for the assistance. I reach out my hand, and just say, Ebenezer Yiff.
No.
Fine.
Ah!
Ebenezer Gustav.
Ebenezer Gustav. That's another assess honesty because you lied and failed the first time.
Yeah, no, this is.
Would you like to keep it as a
I'm
3
burying myself.
would you like to keep it as a 3 or would you like to roll?
I'm gonna roll and I'm gonna add this time. I'm gonna add 1.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, Dice Maiden crashed. Up. Let me try that again.
That's
Uh,
actually
so
funny.
you just roll the d6 and then just add 1 yourself.
6.
A 6. He looks at you. He shakes your hand and he says, "John,
Last name? I say with a slight
John.
chuckle. Just, your name's John?
My name is John the Second."
Right. I just say, pleasure meeting you, John the Second.
It is not the same to meet you, Ebenezer.
No, I
German
told him my
last
name
name.
was, yeah, Ebenezer Gustav. And then I walk away and back into the car and just sit down. Well, that was a bust.
Billy Bob wants his lighter back.
I paid you the lighter.
My voice wasn't coming through. I will note that he watches you leave. He watches you leave and watches you like as soon as you get out of the light where he cannot properly see anymore. He shuts the door.
Well, we probably
Also,
shouldn't
it-
drive in front of the house, in front of the apartment, just in case.
Well, looks like I get to keep all of my things eternally.
That's at least good. Well,
My PDF's fucking broken and won't let me edit the numbers.
Oh my god.
I guess all my points are eternal.
No.
Billy Bob could set the house on fire.
let's not, please. We gotta try and figure out who murdered these people before anything.
Billy Bob has seen cops resort to immense violence before. What's stopping us?
That's arson. I think that's a little bit more than excessive violence.
Dr. Zaft, I'll let you know that from where you were looking, you guys can 100% just sneak around out. You can stay out of the light, sneak around to the side, and just walk up to the second floor if you wanted to, without alerting
Fair.
anyone.
Well, I did at least get to look. We could sneak around towards the other side if we were stealthy enough without anyone really noticing us. I don't think the direct approach is going to work.
Yeah. But also, if any of the... And because we still don't see any lights on, so I don't know how much that personal entrance is going to do anything for us.
What?
Should we just...
I gotta look at my character sheet for one moment.
Okay.
We're
Billy
going
Bob
Where's he?
could do something.
Yes, Billy Bob?
Billy Bob is quite persuasive.
Somehow I
Well-
don't doubt that.
I think one after another ain't really that much of a good idea.
As much as I appreciate your thoughts, Mr. William, I think that we should perhaps wait before we take this again.
Yeah, probably a good bit. Especially because we don't even think that he's really a true bad guy in this case. The only real question we need to ask is who that brown-haired guy is, really.
We could take a stop by the hospital, check such things, or,
Mhm.
since you seem to have a fascination with naked man, we could check on the Greek.
Billy Bob got no fascination. Billy Bob just wants to know what happened to his clothes and why he got a sword.
I mean, the hospital and that place are pretty close, so...
It was the train station, yes?
I
Billy Bob
believe
believes you do in fact have rails.
I believe that is what Billy Bob said, yes. It was near the train station.
Well then, since this seems to be your personal pet project, what do you suggest we do, Roberts?
Who's
He says,
called?
looking at Billy Bob.
Billy Bob feels you're calling Billy Bob the wrong name. I'm thinking Billy Bob agitated.
Is your name not William Roberts, shortened to Billy Bob?
Billy Bob doesn't understand the connection between those two names and Billy Bob at all.
Yeah, that's a bit odd.
Billy
Sure.
Bob may be
Why
homeless,
is
but
there
Billy
not
Bob
a
ain't crazy like you.
Why is there not a perception check? This is really odd.
Say, let me see. Maybe it's like replaced with like some shit like awareness or investigation.
No, it's there's interrogation.
that is
Oh, is
weird.
it?
Let me look.
I'm doing. You guys continue to talk. I can look through this, no problem, because I'm looking through the book. Oh, never mind. I found it.
Well, what is it?
There's explosives.
Don't worry about it. You guys continue what you're talking about.
Anyways, I just go. Regardless, I think we should determine our next move. The hospital, which is closer, the hospital or the rail station?
Both are in the same area.
All right. I know they're in the same area, but like, is one slightly closer to the house than the other?
Technically, the hospital would be the first on the list. However, it's only a block away from the particular train station that the people were referring to.
If the order doesn't matter, we might as well go to the closer one first.
Yeah, just make sure you don't go across the front of the building so they hear a car. So they don't hear a car passing by. So it'll probably take us a little bit of a detour, but oh well.
Not too bad.
Well, never mind. Yeah, I guess this will just have to be it. That's fine by me. So you guys crank up and you start to leave. And so you going or you have to turn your car around.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, I would like everyone here to roll me a sense trouble roll.
Okay.
That is in general. That is at the That is near the bottom of general abilities. If anyone's curious.
I really
I
should have put
have
a few skills in
3. Is this one of the ones where you can choose to not roll and just use the flat
Sit-
number we have?
No, sense trouble is not like that.
that. Okay.
Alright.
It's just always add.
Unfortunately.
Alright then. Okay.
Oh no, you still if you don't add automatically in this.
You don't have to
system
add if you don't
ever.
want to.
Yeah,
You
no, yeah,
add
sorry.
as a second. By the way, you can add after the roll has been done.
Hey, that's cool. Okay.
That's good to know.
Steven, purple, green, or blue for my dice that roll.
Green.
Alright then. I did not roll. That was just the ones I'm putting down. Now there's
All right. That's a 3.
That was
Alright.
ass, Steven. I'm not asking you again. That was a 1. That was a 1. Man, 1s are just my destiny today, apparently.
All right, Billy Bob.
What am I rolling?
Sense trouble.
Just a D6, and then you have a sense, and then you can add from sense trouble if you want to. But keep in mind that these
Yeah, it won't come
that's
back.
basically permanent spending points.
Yeah, I'll roll. I'll get my d6. Sorry about that.
And I'll remind you guys.
I've been
I'll
rearranging
remind you
my
guys
desk.
that this campaign is not supposed to be extremely long.
Yeah.
So I don't want to encourage spending points when you don't have to, but I don't want to. I do not want to encourage
actually-
concealing.
I want to
conservative.
add. I want to add 2.
Oh, okay.
Before
You
You
had
can't
rolling
make for the
anything.
roll though. I'm honestly planning on doing it after I see how everyone else's rolls turn out. If nobody gets very high, and be like,
So I
Ooh,
rolled a
that
3.
hurts.
With that 2, it's now a 5.
I'm not
That-
adding. He's got it.
That 5 is exactly what you needed.
Woo!
With a 5, Billy Bob, as you guys are turning around, you just give you give a glimpse at the building you thought about burning down, and you see, running down the steps of that wooden staircase that Dr. Zaff was talking about, looks like a strangly kind of in a mishmatch in shape man, probably around anywhere between anywhere in his 30s and 40s. Let me get a picture for you.
I have a legitimate question about this car. Does it have child-proof locks weren't a thing, right?
No.
Where you think Elmer Zoft would have them in his car?
So I could just open the door and roll out of it.
Nothing technically stopping you.
You guys, so Bob, you see this man Though his
Wait, let me actually
his
look at something. Continue.
Billy, you see this man running down the steps. Though it is very clear that his right arm is cut off at the elbow.
Oh, okay. So,
Is he
okay.
like actively bleeding
No,
out
no,
of
no,
the
no,
arm?
no, no, no. His arm is just cut off. Like he has a stub.
Okay.
And he is running down the steps where he like casually trips and falls at the last one before he gets back up and starts running.
By the way, I just want this to be very clear. Billy Bob has been thinking about burning down this building. The second we started driveway, Billy Bob staring at Billy Bob was about to say something, and he goes, Billy Bob sees somebody.
Do we turn around? Can we like? I guess since I'm not
Slow the
driving.
car for a moment.
Yeah.
You guys all kind of like turn around and look out of the back window, and you see this man kind of diagonally sprinting across the road into what looks like an alleyway up the road where you guys were formerly facing.
Billy Bob just witnessed someone run down some stairs. Someone with no arm. Billy Bob has gotten the sights.
Yeah, and we saw him running into the alleyway. Do we want to check that or?
Fine. I turn the car around and drive towards the alley.
You guys go and investigate that. As you drive in and you see, as you guys like, do you guys park or are you just driving past the alley?
I'm basically driving past to see if I can still see. I'm driving slowly past.
As you drive slowly past, you see this man, like he's kind of like huffing and puffing, like he's leaning against an alley. And as you're driving past, he sees the light coming from the front of your car, sees the car driving slowly, and sees all three of you looking at him, and he breaks into a sprint as he runs down another alley.
Eh,
In the only direction he can, which is the same direction that the road is going.
So I just start driving faster.
All right. So we're gonna. This is kind of, not necessarily, uh, a turn-based thing, but as soon as all of you get out on foot, it will become a turn-based thing. Um. So this is kind of like I'll kind of explain in a very basic kind of way of how I see this system working. There are kind of two options when it comes to a turn-based kind of deal. You have the engage aspect, which is what I would consider like a fight, which is where you can do all the crazy stuff like kind of D&D style. And then there's the fleeing version of that, where you're doing nothing but trying to run away. In this case, you guys are the pursuers of the fleeing scenario.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Uh,
So,
Hmm.
you guys, so you take off. You start driving. Actually, Kai, I know that this might be kind of mean of me to ask, but you have better taste in music than I do, and can find music faster than I can. Do you have something that might work for 1938's Cthulhu investigative kind of pursuit?
Give me a second.
Um,
I know exactly what I'm gonna use. I just need to pull up SoundCloud real quick.
well, perfect. I'll tell you what. For the viewers at home, I will better describe the character so that they can also see what you guys are saying. The man that Billy Bob has and the rest of the group has now seen is a man, fairly, fairly old. I said anywhere between his 30s and 40s. However, his hair is completely white. He's got this really strangly beard. And I will be very honest. It is not the color of the beard and the hair is not from age. It's from what appears to be stress. That's very obvious in the color of the white. Um, he obviously is missing his right arm at the elbow. He's wearing this like kind of like long brown duster, a red scarf, and some very casual clothes. Um, and I'm gonna be very clear. It looks like everything that he's got has been put on haphazardly. It's not very neat, and it's very clearly some of the clothes do not fit him. So it's very obvious that these might be stolen clothes.
No one was home and he stole it. Okay. Maybe another fellow homeless man, Billy Bob.
They are, and the clothes themselves are not in pristine condition either. They are worn. Some of them have the jacket's ends are in tatters. And they're very murky and almost, I don't want to say muddy, but they're stained with something. You can't tell what it is in the darkness, but it does. The clothes do look stained.
Okay, I do have music ready if we're ready.
Go for it. Oh, I like that. So you hit floor to the metal and like you take off as he's running, and you're not going extremely fast, but you're going in a way that you're keeping up, probably outpacing him by a good chunk to see in between the alleys. And it looks very clearly like the alley that he's running through does not have any exits to his left. So the only way he can get out is to continue running forward, which is going the same way as the road, or veering off to the right and coming towards you guys.
Okay,
So
then.
you're like,
I have a
you
crazy idea.
go for it.
I pull ahead of him, and I would like to Tokyo fucking drift my car to block the road front ways.
So you drive as fast as you can. You get to like a left-hand turn. You Tokyo drift. I am gonna need a driving check.
Yeah, understandable. I might be about to kill us all.
Is there a way I can help, like, hold the steering wheel, like, if it, like,
No,
just has
there-
a change?
there is no
okay,
way
there's
to-
no
I mean-
assisting?
No, not in not in this particular road now. But there
I'm
are
going
ways
to
to assist.
I'm going to spend a drive point.
Okay. I'm gonna set a DC.
I'm like 8, so I wonder if that would have been enough for me to Tokyo drift to myself.
I only have 2. Where's the... Sorry, I lost sight of the chat. Now I'm fucking...
This is gonna be a short session anyway, so it's fun, bro.
Not really. You guys barely have any of the information I want.
That's a 7.
That's a 7? With a 7, you Tokyo drift. Everybody in the car is slammed to one side because seatbelts weren't invented back then. And you Tokyo drift. You whip yourself around, and you do so in a way that blocks off the only feasible exit for this guy to go down. So as he's sliding to a halt, I'll say that Billy Bob, in your movement, you bust the door open to the car and spill out into the street.
I'm definitely gonna get out because
And
I'm like,
James.
yeah, I have like an 8 athletics, so I'm pretty sure I could keep up with this motherfucker.
So,
Billy Bob after you!
Can we not
So,
scream, please?
we are now going to enter the turn-based format. Dr. Emmer Zaft, you are getting out of the car. So the way this works is, there is really like an initiative score as far as I can tell. I'm gonna do another check real quick to make sure that I'm not going crazy in the.
The closest thing might be athletics?
I would think.
Hold on. I want to check. Because there really aren't, like... Here we go.
Maybe the system's just like we all say what we want and it all happens at the same time.
We go in alphabetical order.
Each participant acts in turn. The first to fail a roll of the tested ability loses. Yeah, it's kind of just like you guys can act in whatever order you want.
Yeah.
Alright, Billy Bob, you seemed like you had plans. Would you like to go first if you do have plans? Steven?
I'm thinking. I'm thinking. I really am thinking here.
I'll kind of tell you. I'll tell you. I'll give a couple kind of like basic here real quick. I'll give a.
Oh my god, he has a giant chain.
200 feet of chain.
I have a very. So I'll give you this now. You guys are around about 45 feet away from him as he's like sliding. He's having to turn around to run. So I'll kind of explain to you how this particular, in the book is categorized as contest, chase, and combat. In this case, this is a chase. The way this works is that the pursuer is going to be technically acting first, and he is going to be rolling in athletics, right, to try and run.
So is
And
that
I
me?
guess we are the pursuers in this case?
So you guys will be following him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm double checking. I'm making sure. All right. So he's gonna roll. Basically, the way that I'm seeing and how I'm gonna roll is, he's gonna roll in athletics, and based on how well that roll is, he'll be fleeing in that regard. Like he'll be fleeing about that well. Just let me do a real quick check of everything. I want to make sure that I'm not going crazy.
Bar.
All right. All right. He's going to be used. He has rolled a 5 on his athletics and is bolting. He's running the opposite direction of where you guys came. So based off the 5 athletics, he is now about 50 feet away from you guys.
All right.
And then we'll say Billy Bob, you're up first.
So do I make an athletics to run after him?
You can decide what you'd like to do. You could, if you have a gun, you can shoot at him. If you have a weapon of a reach of that length, you can make an attack with
How long is that? Because it's
50
point
feet.
blank close near.
it. Point blank, close, near. If it's not 50 feet away, is none of those things.
Okay, so it needs to be a long ranged weapon.
If you would like to
Okay,
attack him,
noted.
yeah.
I'm going to be using athletics to catch up to him.
All right, please roll me in athletics.
I'm guessing since we're in combat, we can
I
never
will
just have
be
a.
using 3 of my athletics.
Oh.
Holy shit.
I rolled a 6 with that.
6. All right, so you immediately begin to catch up to this guy, and you close the distance a little more. He is only 30 feet away from you. By the way,
Holy
there's
shit. Put that into actual perspective. Billy Bob just hauled ass.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
my head. Here's in my head. Here's what happened. The car reels around to a stop. Like the wheels teeter on one side. The door opens. You roll out, and you don't even stop the roll. You just get up and you're running.
Mm-hmm.
After you. Billy Bob got his sights locked on you.
That is such a terrifying
that
thing
is
to
the
say.
only. So here's the coolest thing about this system. That's it.
Yeah,
That
and
is
I'm
it.
perfectly fine with that. But JD, that is true. That is so terrifying.
Billy Bob is after you, and all I can figure out is just like seeing Billy Bob on like all fours crawling, running after him, because that is the funniest image to me. It's just
Billy Bob locks the fuck in.
Exactly.
So,
Me. I won't go.
it is now. Yeah, I'll say it is now James Smith.
Since I have like 8 athletics, do I need to roll? But I'm guessing since it's combat, I have to.
You do have to.
Okay.
But I have 10 athletics.
Okay.
I now have 7.
And we gain 2 after the end of each session, right, or whatever the fuck, or some other shit, like build points or whatever to give ourselves.
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Okay.
You gain build point. You do get build points to reach.
I'm gonna follow Billy Bob because I feel like this is very important. I'm gonna add 3. So. What? God damn it! Fucking 4. That's 2 fucking 1s in a row.
So with a 4, so you're not keeping up as well,
Fucking Christ.
and you are 40 feet away from this guy. Dr. Zaft, it is now your turn.
Decide that these two seemingly have it handled.
So what are you gonna do?
There are only 2 major entrances and exits, right?
Correct. So if you would like to get, if you were to say if you want to stay in your car and drive to that other exit, you're more than welcome to.
There are 2 people blocking the way. And yeah,
I will say the way he was kind of running, there are like 3 possible lefts he can take.
you know what I'm gonna do? Is there any fire escapes or anything like that readily available to me?
I'm so scared.
You mean in
I
the
am
alleyway?
So scared
Yes.
of this next sentence.
Yeah, there are about 4 along the length of this alleyway. Kind of like they kind of trade off positions.
Cool. So I'm going to climb up one of the fire escapes
So
and just...
you'd have to move there first.
Okay. I'm not necessarily I'm not full force sprinting like they are. It's more like a leisurely jog.
Still an athletics to climb.
Fair.
Oh lord.
I think I'm just gonna give a straight roll on this. My character's not trying that hard.
Right.
I like the bass. This one.
Yeah.
Oh, this song's great.
Don't.
That's a 3.
Okay. So with a 3, you kind of go over and you begin your ascent. On a, I'll say, probably on your next turn, you'll be at the top, or whatever. You'll be on the first leg of the first fire escape, right? Like the first up high one, or I guess like the first walkway on the fire escape. If you want to keep going up, that'll be more athletics checks.
I figured.
With that, it is now going to be the one-armed man's turn. He's going to make another athletics to try and escape. Ooh, and he hits a trash can and falls to the ground a little bit and is stumbling to try and get back up. Billy Bob, it's your turn.
Billy Bob sees weakness.
Billy Bob feels fear.
Dude, this so out of context of this man, Billy Bob see weakness, and just seeing him almost and crawling, like sprinting at him, probably with a chain in his hand, ready to fucking tie him up.
Billy Bob now has obtained chain. Billy Bob takes the chain out that he has 200 feet of. He kind of wraps it around.
Well, you're still
and then
30
like
feet away from him, so
what is near?
yeah, that is a great question. What is near?
What is near? There are assorted piles of trash. There are, again, 4 fire escapes.
The
You have
distance
already
he means.
Let me rephrase this. Because it says weapons and explosives. It straight up says point blank, close, near, long. What is near?
Near would be, so like close range is
Damn it,
within
this
5
song's
feet.
not working.
Near is within 10 feet. Probably like 10 to 15.
Then what is point blank?
Oh, sorry. Point blank is 5 feet. Close range is 10 feet. Probably to like 10 to 15 feet is that. And then near is like 15 to like 25. There's probably a place for this.
I would hope so.
Look, man, I don't know. I'm having to look through the book as quickly as I can. Damage modifier. Where is range? Oh. What the hell does that mean? Hold on. Point blank. Oh, closest within. Closest within 10 yards. Near's within 30 to 40 yards. Log is within 100 yards.
I think he's close enough to wrap that chain.
He's close. You're close.
40 yards is near.
Billy Bob has now obtained a target, the lasso. Billy Bob would like to lasso the individual. What's my roll for that?
You have so your weapon has a modifier on it, or at least it should.
It's just, I think it's just chain. I think it's what it was just called.
Just 200 foot of chain. That's all it is.
Oh. Did I say it could be used as a weapon?
Sure did.
When did I say that?
You told me to put that. I was like, I got brass knuckles. And then you were like, oh yeah, 200 feet of chain. That sounds like it would be a weapon. Go ahead and put it in your weapons. I went, okay.
I'm gonna call that a big improvised weapon, so it's damage modifier of nothing.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's like mad about that.
It's
not
not damage 2. Like it does 2 damage.
I mean, all you're trying to do is lasso, so I don't think it would hurt.
Yeah, I'm not trying to hurt. I'm trying to lasso.
Because in this system, this works similar to World of Darkness. For you to deal damage to someone, you have to exceed their hit threshold.
Which is 3 for most people, unless you have 8 athletics, which is 4.
Yep. That's the explosive table. I don't really care about the explosives table. I mean, I do, but I don't. Because this guy is close, we'll say you have a. God,
For as
Oh
free
no,
as
you don't get any. It's just you just roll athletics. Or argue a different one to me, and I will allow it. But I need to know which one you're gonna ask for.
I'm perfectly fine with athletics and all. Honesty.
I will allow athletics or scuffling or weapons. I'll allow weapons.
I mean, I would hope so, but I think I'm gonna do athletics.
All right, roll athletics
I
to
rolled a
capture this.
5, natural 5 without adding anything, just 5.
A 5. Okay, so that exceeds his hit. You yeet this chain, and you you wrap around one of his legs, and you just yank him back. Right. So he falls down some more and is now 15 feet closer to you. So he's within 15 feet of you. That is your
smells the fear.
That is your turn, James Smith. This character is now. I specified he was 40 feet away from you, which means now he's 25 feet away from you.
Yeah, cause he was pulled 15. Yeah, that's right. Okay. He's gonna try and run. He's gonna run and just try and just like I guess just kind of sit down on him to make sure he doesn't try and get up while being lassoed by the leg.
All right, so that is going to be
Athletics again.
You'd be surprised. Let me
Okay.
double check.
Oh, scuffle probably, right?
Yes, scuffle.
I have eight in scuffling, so.
So it's gonna be scuffle v scuffle.
Really? You have
Yeah.
8?
Yeah, I put a lot of it, but because military gave me extra points when I put something into scuffling.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
All right, I have mine because it's scuffle
Okay.
versus scuffle. What did you roll?
Okay, I'm gonna and we can add points after rolling, right?
Yes, but it has to be before I tell you what in this case,
Then,
I cannot tell you what it is.
Well, I knew you couldn't, so let's see what I roll. Come on now. Okay, I'm gonna add 1. That's 6.
So as you do that, because he also rolled a 6,
Fuck.
he's gonna kick off. He's gonna push. He's gonna try and get the chain off. And as you jump to catch him, he's gonna reach his hand over and grab the top of a trash lid and just kind of push you off of him before you can land. And he's gonna start getting up. Dr. Zaft, it is now your turn.
Okay, so you said that I would be at the top of the fire escape by now.
The top of the first rung. So you know how a fire escape has four things. I don't know what to call them, lofts. And then the stairs that lead down them.
Alright, but I can see him from here.
Yeah, you're probably about 15 feet in the air.
Alright, 15 feet in the air. They're still ahead of me.
Yeah, they're about 50 feet away from you now. I'd have to guess.
50 feet away. That's not close enough to just throw something.
Well, that depends. What are you trying to throw?
Well, I was considering tossing them my leg breaker trap.
Oh my god.
What? You have a leg breaker trap? What?
Yes, I do.
Can you
I'm still thinking.
Can you give me a description of that weapon?
I believe it's just a bear trap.
So that's big. That's a big. I'm gonna call that a big improvised
He
weapon.
still is thinking and just trying to decide what he wants to do.
Yeah, but in my head, I have to.
Yeah, just don't figure out if that's even feasible.
No, it's feasible. I just gotta figure out what die to roll for this. I'm gonna assume athletics.
You know what though? Can we just talk to him, or is that not an option?
Very
He's
much so.
shouting. He's shouting and screaming. He's running. He's trying to run currently.
Actually, you know what I'd like to do? This might be a bit of a waste of a turn.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask if I could do something a bit more introspective and then take an action based off it.
Okay.
I'd like to psychoanalyze him to quickly figure out what his damage is.
Sure. I will allow that from 50 feet away.
Okay, I have a 20 in psychoanalysis.
Cool.
I
because
don't
this
think
is
I need to roll.
You do have to roll because this is the middle of a chase scene. You're
Okay,
trying to do this from
fine.
50 feet away.
I am very good at psychoanalysis.
You are very good at, which is why I'm allowing this in the middle of combat.
Oh, it's definitely bullshit, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna close the other zones that I'm not using actively.
I'm gonna let you know this now. It's not gonna be easy.
Oh, really?
I don't know who could have told you that, but I'm telling you that now.
The world could have told me.
Okay, I will be adding 4 to the result. No, 3 to the result.
Okay, what is
Making it a
that?
total of an
8.
8.
With an 8, um, what he's shouting is like he's shouting. You hear he's kind of like it's almost muffling, right? Like the way he's shouting it because he's like it's in the middle of screams. But you kind of hear him say, "I can't die here. I don't die here. I die then."
Oh.
If you need me to repeat that, I will.
I don't die here, I die then. So he's convinced that he's supposed to die soon.
Specifically, he says, specifically, I don't die here. I don't die. I don't die here. I'm not supposed to die here. I die. I die there. I die then.
And he's not specifying what there then is.
No, he's just screaming that as the top of his lungs.
I try to. Sorry.
You know, like with like psychoanalysis. Yeah, he's shouting some pretty crazy stuff. Like obviously, it's like he's like, oh, he seems to know when and how he's gonna die.
If it is not here and then there is. I just shout from the top. If it's not here and then, there's nothing to be afraid of. We have no plans to kill you. This is.
I will tell you. That is an action.
Okay.
So, you're gonna have to wait to do that. Okay? 'Cause
I literally asked you, hey, is it okay if I do something introspective and then take an action, and then you like didn't really answer my question.
Well, everything costs an action to do.
I know what I'm gonna do. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, there's okay. Well, that was a useless turn then. I thought I
No,
was
it
able to.
wasn't.
Well,
You
but I
guys have
can't share
really-
the information with you guys, so you guys can't act on it.
I mean, I'll double check some of the rules afterwards to make sure that I'm not screwing something up. But I'm pretty sure the way I read it, you can only
Is
take
talking
one.
not a free action?
I don't think this system has free actions. I get. Hold on. Let me check. Let me get back to where I was at. And I'll clues. I don't care about tests. Contests. Fighting. Nothing there. Rate of fire. Not important. 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 How many times can the DM say not important?
Answer is always.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't explain to me that there are more than one.
Fair enough.
Oh, wait.
Because most of combat is not really something you want to be doing.
Like, didn't really give us a choice to try and talk to him.
Yeah, what here's the thing is this is a I don't know how to explain to you that this is a very like this is part of the system, but
Yeah.
I think I might just be I might be doing it wrong, but for now we'll play it as like one action until
Yeah,
I can get
don't worry about it. Sorry. Just continue.
yeah, it is now his turn again, and he's gonna try and run again. So we get another athletics. We're gonna implement the next part of the system called contests. Because you have a chain wrapped around his leg, Billy Bob, I need you to roll me scuffling versus his athletics.
Scuffling?
Scuffling.
Okay. I rolled a 1.
So with a 1, he kind of like pushes off your stuff, gets up and starts to run again. Um, he's only 5 more feet away, so he's only like 20 feet away from you, Billy Bob. It is now James Smith's turn. James Smith, he is 5 feet away from you.
Uh, oh God. Okay. Can I try and grapple him since he's that close to me and just try and just
Yeah. You want to try and like grab him by the legs, right?
Try
and trip him up and grab him.
Kind of just like his entire body. Yeah. Either way. Well, yeah. Since I am on the ground, yeah. I guess his legs. Either
Okay,
way.
go for you can go for scuffling. Scuffling v scuffling.
Okay, we're going for you. Let's go! I'm gonna add a 1 because that'll make it 7.
Yeah, you grab him, like you like smack his legs, and as he falls, you just grab him by the waist and like keep him down.
I guess
Dr.
that's
Emma
it.
Zaft, it is your turn.
You say what you were gonna say out. Your
I'm
turn.
really sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, that went quick. Fucking.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
The system's supposed to be like,
Okay, so
did I even get a turn?
Yeah.
you did. Oh wait, well,
No,
Billy
no,
Bob,
shit.
your turn. What your
No,
turn
his turn was trying to. No, it was his turn scuffling out of
Well,
it.
sorry.
That was a response to a contest. That's not a turn, right?
Yeah, that's my bad. Billy
Yeah,
Bob,
sorry.
what do you want to do?
Well, I have him grappled now, so what are you gonna do? You gonna grapple him too?
Like to bargain.
Oh!
Bargain? What are you trying to say?
Ooh.
Billy Bob understands that death is eternal. However, Billy Bob also agrees with you. You do not die here. So
Okay,
that's
I'm
bargain.
gonna be clear here, Billy Bob. You have not made out that that's what he's saying.
Oh,
That was
My
just
apologies.
Dr. Zack.
all right. Billy Bob believes death is eternal. However, Billy Bob will not kill you. Billy Bob do not like killing. So, Billy Bob wants to talk.
I think that's still
Billy Bob,
appropriate here.
exchange words now, please.
All right.
That's my bargain.
because
So-
yeah, go ahead.
So I'll be clear here because I am using the book. I'm using the book.
Is it not
um,
bargain?
It's not gonna be bargain.
I don't see persuasion.
Reassurance.
Reassurance.
Sense.
That's fair. That's a 6.
Let's go!
6. Okay. So you're saying that, and as you're saying that to him, you hear along with James Smith as like he's like slowly coming down. You hear him saying like that stuff, like I don't die here, I die then, I die there, I don't die here, I die then, I die there, I don't die here, I die there. And he's just saying that over and over and over. And I'll call he is not actively resisting, but he's still like, okay, that's not true. He doesn't seem to be trying to punch you guys in the face anymore, but he is still trying to get out of your arms, James. So we'll finalize this with Dr. Zaft. We'll call this your turn. If you can get through to him with with something, we will call that the end of the chase.
All right.
If not, it'll continue.
Let me see here.
I mean, you got a really good assurance roll, so I hope this will be somewhat easy.
I don't have anything in like positive interactions with other human beings.
I'll say this because we did kind of like, I messed up Turner. That's my bad. You hear it's like I don't die here. I die then. I die there. The doctor showed me I'm already dead. I know that I'm not dead. I die there. I die then. The newspapers told me, and you hear him saying this over and over again.
I just look, and then I shout from up high. If it is a matter of destiny, then you won't die here. If it is a matter of trickery, then we are not the ones tricking you. We are working against that so-called doctor. You're right. You don't die here. And even if you were, do you want to go out as a coward or as a man fighting against those trying to kill you?
Okay.
I have no clue what role
Reassurance.
that is. Okay, I have 0
Reassurance.
reassurance.
But in like the wrongest way possible. But
To be
reassurance.
fair, that probably works on most men in the 30s.
Fair.
Is not the
This
fuck
is the
up.
30s. This
If
is the
you
30s,
get,
after all.
if you, so thanks to Billy Bob, the reassurance roll is lower.
Like, we have to wait at least another 10 years before empathy's invented. Okay, I have nothing in reassurance, so here it fucking goes. Well, it crashed.
God.
We'll try one more time. Can I argue literally any? What does
You don't have to.
intimidation
You
make
don't-
any sense?
You don't have to. The 2 is what I wanted.
Woo,
Okay.
thank God.
Thank you, Billy Bob.
Thank you, Billy Bob.
The Bob is here for
You
everybody.
see him like you see him. You see him begin to calm. Like he the wrestling in James Smith's arms lessens. And he's like you still very like he's no longer yelling. He's muttering, "I don't die here. I don't die here. I don't die here. I don't die here. I don't die." His breathing is slowing down. And he's like he kind of just kind of slumps in your arms, James.
Oh well. I didn't get us much anywhere.
And what do you guys do?
Should we take him to the hospital? He seems to have had.
No, I don't trust the hospital. I look him over. I have some very basic medical knowledge.
Yeah. What? How
Uh,
many dots in medicine
me
do you
look.
have?
I believe I have. Oh, maybe I don't. Unless
If you have, do you have 2 or more dots?
what area that's under?
Medicine is going to be under, I think.
Academic skills.
Yes.
I don't see medicine. I see biology.
It's under. It's a
Um,
little further down. There's a space
after
between the
languages.
First. Yeah.
Oh, I have 2 medicine.
Perfect. With a 2 medicine, he is extremely malnourished. He is very obviously exhausted. His body seems to be exposed, and as you look closer, you see that his body is like the few bits of him that you can see through like through like his shirt, like his tattered clothes, his face, like where what is not covered by a beard, there is scarring, heavy scarring, both old and fresh, specifically around his cheekbones, the bridge of his nose, the like area where a widow's peak would occur, and that one's very very predominant. It is old and it has been reopened several times, and then you see several along like obviously his arm, his stump, and what little bit of his legs you can see through the like holes in his pants. And since you understand medicine and some of like stuff like that with those 2 dots, the ink, the wetness, the dampness, the stains on his clothes, that's blood, human blood specifically.
Open up. I quickly, after seeing that, open up one of the wounds, one of the areas of clothing that's wet, and check if he's actively bleeding.
It's not his blood.
Well, that's something else to address, but everything he's suffering right now is nothing we can't address on our own. My suggestion is we take him back to my office and get him some nutrition quickly.
Do you have food there?
Oh, are you awake?
The doctor said that I'm gonna die.
Yes, we all die eventually. But you'll get to join the void later, I say as I pick him up and drag him over to the car.
and he kind of lets you at this point. He's so like the
Yeah,
running.
James already
the
had him in his
ones-
arms, so I don't even
Yeah.
think you needed to pick him up.
The two of you are doing it together. This
Yeah,
guy's this guy is heavy. Even though he is malnourished, he is heavy.
we load him into the back seat, and I just look and so who's getting in the back?
I'll say, as you guys are bringing, like, you guys pick him up and bring him over, right? He's like, yeah, the newspapers, I'm dead. I died then.
Quite. I just say as I get into the car and start it up.
Billy, keep an eye on him just in case he goes crazy.
I
again.
have an idea
Billy
for how
Bob
we
will,
can
in fact,
address
keep an eye on
some of
you.
his. You said there was a gas station nearby. Would in the 30s would these 24-hour gas station would they still have like small like I don't think it'd be like anything like now with all the prepackaged food and stuff, but like a small
No.
section where
But
you
they
can
do
just buy
have, like,
coffee and stuff.
yeah.
All right. I'm gonna pull over to that gas station, get out, get some water and any amount of food that I can buy.
The from what you can tell, the only thing that is up is the pump. When they said 24 hours, it's one of those newfangled do-it-yourself stations.
Uh. He just groans. Whatever. We'll return to my office. I do have some water there and small amounts of food.
That's good.
So you guys start driving, and you see very clearly that he starts, like, he reaches up with his nub and his other hand, very obviously trying to, like, cup his own face. Obviously, but then again, he's missing that arm, so he can't, and he's just like, it's in my head. You put so much in my head.
Billy Bob also hears voices.
So much thinking. So much thinking.
I have to
And he
think
kinda
for too
just-
much longer.
He just keeps he keeps repeating that, the so much thinking, so much thinking.
Looks like our idea about the doctor was right, though. Assuming it's the same doctor.
I believe as such.
So, you guys bring him to your office, which is closed. There's no one there, correct?
Yep.
I will say it is around. Uh, it's about 1:45 a.m. Um. How do you guys do this? How do you guys get him into your office? Because
Carrie?
well, is your off? I gotta ask. Is your office in a densely populated area where people could be looking out of their windows at night?
Probably, if not it might not be the most densely populated area, but yeah, it definitely isn't a population center.
In which case, I'm gonna need specifically
okay.
concealment from all
Could
three of
I
you.
argue that
Mhm.
I would have a back door in order to get supplies in
metal-
and out?
I will allow. I'll say yes. I'm still gonna need a concealment because obviously people have windows.
Yeah, but the back door should make it a little easier, right?
yeah, it will make it easier.
How
Whoever
about-
decides to hide him is concealment. The other two are disguise.
Who has the highest concealment?
I got 0 conceal. And also
I
0
have
disguise.
10. Huh?
I have none in disguise.
I have 10 conceal and 2 disguise since I already spent 1 point. I guess I'll be doing it.
So what are you
Conceal.
doing to conceal this guy? Bring him in. How are you concealing him?
If so I actually head into my own building first. And
Ooh, get
I-
a wheelchair?
yeah, I'm gonna come back out with a wheelchair. Yeah, that sounds good. I'm
Oh.
like,
Okay, in this case, it is no longer concealment. Everyone needs to roll disguise.
all right.
Did since he brought out a wheelchair lower it?
It also lowered it, yes.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Okay. That doesn't sound good.
Wrong channel.
Ooh,
Wrong channel.
Oh God. Come on. 2 as well. Fuck.
Let me see. That's a 5.
I was looking for 2s.
Oh, thank God.
Good.
Okay.
You guys take him in, and this looks very kind of like, oh, this is a late night visit. Probably somebody called the police and you responded because you were the first person they could think of.
I mean, we could have
You
used
take
that
him-
excuse anyway.
I mean, that's like also kind of sort of what happened.
Yeah, also true. So where do you take him? Do you take him to your main office where you do all your, where you do consultation work, or do you take him to the room where you do your experiments?
I take him to the consultation room.
So like the kind of therapy looking kind of room, right?
Yeah.
Bless you.
Holy shit. Oh my god, my screen's covered.
All
I
right.
take him there, and I fill up a glass of water from the sink. Is the first thing I do.
Okay.
And just put it down in front of him.
He looks at it. He looks back up at you, and then like you see him like go to pick it up. His hand is shaking violently, and as soon as he picks the water is spilling everywhere as he's trying to take a drink of water.
I put the cup down. I'd rather you not spill everywhere. Give me a moment. Since I have patients with a lot of nerves, well, this wouldn't be common at the time. Could I argue that I would have something like a lidded cup with a straw for patients with nerves?
You have basically you're just like you just pour it into a taller cup.
Yeah, I pour it into like a taller cup that's slightly more, and put
Yeah,
a straw in there. Straws existed at the time.
Yeah, and he's still shaking. He's like trying to drink as calmly as he can before he sits it back down, and he's just shaking. But he's still mumbling and muttering, but it's like super incoherent.
Would you like something to eat as well?
No.
I roll my eyes and go into the experiment room. Nobody follow me.
Billy Bob is now concerned.
I come back.
Okay. What do the two of you do while Dr. Zaft is getting whatever thing he's getting?
I guess we'll just look around the room, I guess.
Describe your office.
So it is a
I'll be right back.
very
You go take a
plain
call.
space. There's a large ornate looking chair with a wooden desk in front of it, various files piled on top of it, and locked cabins on both the files, locked filing cabinets behind me. And then there is there's a display of my diploma on the wall and a large bookshelf filled with, let's say, daring science.
James.
a mix-
Oh, good.
I was about to say, it's a mixture of things that would prove to be rather true and a mixture of things that would prove to be rather not true.
Ugh. I'm only seeing half this stuff back in the war with these experimental type stuff. Jesus.
Yeah.
So around this time, I'll say Zach.
Alright, come back in.
Yep.
So, I walk forwards and offer, first of all, a sandwich that's half wrapped.
He like looks at it.
And secondly, I look at him as I sit down. We want to understand what happened. And if you help us, I promise, you won't have to think anymore. You won't have to have all those thoughts burning inside your head.
Not burning. Not burning.
Overwhelming?
Too many.
I can help slow them. But you need to help us understand what happened.
The doctor, he kept.
What did the doctor keep doing?
He kept making me eat them.
Eat what?
mines. He kept feeding me.
Minds? Brains? Or something more esoteric?
Mm, but too many big words.
Did you eat brains? Yes or no?
Yes.
Is there anything else you think you'll be able to tell us?
What? Who are you people?
I'm the person who's going to save you. Now then, I have at least one more question. The newspaper. What newspaper? What are you talking about? You're going to die then.
He reaches into, like, out of like his stupor, he reaches into his jacket pocket. He pulls out a ripped piece of newspaper. Just like a good quarter line chunk of what looks like the front page headliner. Not a front page. Like one of like the back pages. Very not an important event at all. And his hand is shaking so bad that he drops it.
I pick it up.
And it yeah. You pick it up, and what it reads. And it's like one of those continued articles. Like this is like there's a picture and part of like a thing. And it reads uh local the continued headline bit reads local pimp one-armed Willie uh dead I don't know how to explain this like in like I don't know what the wording would be precisely for it, but essentially it's like one-armed Willie missing his head. um
Hmm.
but here's the really odd thing. It's dated wrong. It's dated August 13th, 1938.
And today is the
Got it.
12th or something?
Today is the 13th.
I don't think that experiment you're about to do, Doc, is a good idea. And he hands the doctor the newspaper.
I look at it.
And you see the same thing. Specifically, you see in the picture you see a picture of what looks like a body, you see a body bag being toted out of your office, the front of your office.
I think we should probably take him to the police.
To go do something real quick.
Okay.
I would like to see what area of the office that is in. Like, what area of the front.
No. It is your front door.
Okay.
There is the
Out
yellow
your front
tape.
door.
There's like
Then-
well, it's gray tape because it's black and white photo, but like the tape off area and like a bunch of people where you even see yourself being investigated in the photo.
I'm going to go do something borderline schizophrenic.
All right.
Do any of you have a knife?
And what might you be doing?
I'm going to carve something into the front door and see if it appears in the photo.
Okay.
I'm back. I apologize.
I have a
fine.
question.
Yes.
What was your character going to carve?
His plan was to carve nothing overly elaborate, probably just like a box or a series of tally marks.
Gotcha.
Just anything that'd be obviously visible.
Would these brass knuckles have like some kind of like etching on the side? Because that's about the closest that we're gonna have. Because Steven's character has brass knuckles, and that's probably about as close. I don't have a knife.
This is true. I do have brass knuckles.
That's probably about as close as you're gonna get.
Then no, none of you have a knife.
Could I argue I might have one in my experiment room?
Yes, scalpel.
I will argue a scalpel, but that's about it. Either that or a bone saw.
And first I should check. Is the door visible in the picture?
Yes.
The inside or the outside of the door?
Outside of the door.
I'm
Okay.
going to grab the bone saw. I'm going to go to a section of the door that is visible in the picture and just cut off a solid chunk?
The picture that you have did not change.
It did not
This is
change.
this isn't a premonition of the future. It's some sort of mockery.
I mean, it's your office, and you
Yes,
haven't had a body bag come out your office yet, have you?
no, but
So they got this
this is
somehow.
obviously this is before Photoshop was a thing.
Yes.
Is it? But I do think this is around when photo collage would have started as an art form.
This is photo collage, you say?
Yes. Is there a way to check if this is a collage? A very well done one, obviously, but
It did start. It first started in 1911. So yeah.
is there some sort of way to inspect this and see if, like, these are
For
various images that have been taken before and glued together?
well, this thing looks like a newspaper, like a real one. So
No,
if
what I
you
meant
want to,
is, like,
if
glue
so,
the
which,
they glue the photos together, scan it all in, and print it onto the paper as one solid thing.
that is gonna be. What the hell is this gonna be? I will cryptology.
Question. Cryptology?
I will allow this to be cryptology or photography.
Think of anything in either of those, but we'll look.
Anyone can try this if they have something.
The hell are they even listed?
Cryptology is under academic abilities.
Yep.
Photography is the last thing in technical abilities.
I got nothing in either.
I got nothing
sure
another.
don't got shit.
Then fuck it, we all
All right.
roll.
Fuck it, we ball.
Yeah, he suggested the photo collage and never get to look it over.
Got one. It didn't matter. I probably wasn't gonna get it anyways.
I got a 3.
5.
3 to 5. What skill?
Doesn't really matter. I have nothing in either. We'll go with.
It matters for me.
What's cryptography like as a actual skill?
That's like deducing like in your case, this would be like, oh, you can tell where these were different pictures put together.
Let's go with cryptography. And can I argue that I might have a slightly easier time because if it is a photo of me that's been taken before, I might be able to recognize where it was taken from.
Sure. This is a real newspaper.
Like, none of these images seem like they were sourced from anywhere else.
This is a real newspaper. These are images that have not been like where you are standing, the way you're looking and talking to someone directly opposed to you in the picture is uncanny.
To look for a second. There's never been a photo taken of me like this before. But
to further the point, you keep a calendar clock in the window next to your thing because why wouldn't you? And the date reads August 8th. August 13th, August 13th, 1938.
I stare at this photo for a second, and I attempt to look calm and composed. I then
Are you calm and composed?
Let me finish my sentence. I then proceed to put down the piece of paper, walk calmly over to where I keep the calendar clock, rip it out of the wall, and stomp on it repeatedly.
Huh. I think now is the time we need to take this guy to the police and show him this newspaper to show how weird things have gotten so far.
You say take him, and you see his face, like this guy's face. He's like, "You're taking me back to the doctor?
No,
take me back to the doctor.
The doctor.
No, I don't want you. No more trains.
No train either. We're taking you to the police to keep you
Train,
protected.
no. Trains. The Greek.
He may also be crazy. But first, let's take him to police
let's
custody
take him.
to keep him protected. There we go. Christ.
Do we actually have a number to the officer who hired us?
I would hope you would have
You
given us
do.
a number.
However, as you begin to Billy, I'm gonna be quick. Billy Bob, did you have anything to put in or do anything here? I just want to ask before we move on. Is there anything you want to ask this guy?
Let me think about that, like legitimately.
Okay.
Just to let you know, Ryan, we have about 30 minutes before we should have to end this.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you're good.
I'm
We're
trying
about
think
to end.
Alright.
quickly.
I swear to God, if his head explodes, I'm gonna lose it.
Billy Bob understands. You hear voices. Billy Bob's also been down that route. Billy Bob also understands.
They're
The
not mine.
voices are okay.
They're not mine.
They're not nice. Billy
They're,
Bob
they're
understands.
his and hers. Theirs.
I mean,
Billy
the only
Bob
other damning
understands.
question is if he's talking about a train station and he came out the guy's house, what the hell is he supposed to do with this? Or what? Ah, God, this is so confusing.
Billy Bob wants to know what happened to the arm.
He, 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 and you ask that question, and he starts to you see him start hyperventilating, and he starts like clawing, almost, at his head. And all of you notice that around the center of where the tip of a widow peak would start, from his hairline, you see like a little streak of red starts pouring down to his nose, and then you see
hold
his.
on. Oh, sorry. If there's enough time, is there like a? I highly doubt he would have one, but is there like a fucking? Would this not my character, but would Dr. Elmer Zaft have like a fucking camera somewhere?
Not in this room.
Okay, damn. Okay.
That's for sure. Also, that seriously breaches a lot of different laws. Not that Zaft would care.
No. But like
But-
Zaf doesn't want to get caught either.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if the experimentation room would have a camera, but not this room. And so you see the blood starts trickling, and then you see he starts rocking himself back and forth violently as more blood starts pulling, and you see it pouring from the top of his head, and as you see his whole skull, like the top of his head starts to bubble underneath. His hair starts moving, and he starts screaming. And before any of you can react to I don't know, give him something, try to give him morphine pain to close his head, you see the middle of his forehead start peeling back as the bare bone starts breaking and jutting out in splinters before his entire brain starts to ooze out of his head as if it was expanding. And then his head goes as blood soaks your office.
And all of us, I'm guessing, bits of brain too.
Yeah, you spoke into existence, JD.
I felt it in my soul. That's what was gonna happen.
Is where we're going to be ending this session. Thank you everybody for joining us, and I hope that we will see you sometime in the future with Trail of Cthulhu.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.